Na-experience mo na ba na gusto mo na matulog, but the moment you lie down, parang doon pa nagsimula ang lahat ng thoughts? Like, tama ba yung pag-handle ko ng conversation kanina? Baka mali yung sinabi ko. Dapat yata ito yung sinabi ko. Oh, what if something goes wrong tomorrow? May nakalimutan ba ako? Paano kung hindi mag-work yung plan ko? And so on. And instead of resting, your mind is running a full meeting at night. And here's the interesting thing about this. The problem is not that you're thinking. The problem is we don't know how and when to stop thinking. Most of us were taught that when life gets harder, the answer is to think harder. But many of the biggest breakthroughs in my life didn't come from thinking more. They came from understanding the mind and learning how to quiet it. If you're a business owner, leader, or professional dealing with stress, uncertainty, and the challenges that come with growth, you're in the right place. In this podcast, I share realizations about life, work, and the mind, and how quieting the mind helps us think more clearly, make better decisions, and take focused, effective action. Welcome to Realizations with Clarissa. And I remember a time in my life na I struggled with sleep for years. Around 5 years akong may insomnia. Pagod buong araw, busy, productive, doing what I needed to do para sa family, sa business, and everything else. But when it was time to sleep, my mind just wouldn't stop. Iniisip ko yung work, yung mga conversations na naganap, mga plans, mga what if, mga problema. And at that time, I thought na ganun lang talaga dapat kong gawin. Kailangan ko mag-isip because I wanted to be responsible. Pero hindi ko alam na I had a choice. Hindi ko alam na pwede ko palang hindi patulan yung thoughts ko. And one common mistake people make at night is this. They keep engaging with their thoughts. Na kapag may pumasok na idea, iniisip pa nila. Kapag may worry, sinusundan nila. Kapag may tanong, hinahanapan ng sagot. Automatic na kailangang mag-isip ng mag-isip. And underneath that, the mind is telling us that this is important. So, kailangan mo tong isipin ngayon. Baka may makalimutan ka. O, mas magiging ready ka bukas kapag pinag-isipan mo na to ngayon. So, wag ka muna matulog. And underneath that, there's fear. The fear of making mistakes. The fear of losing control. Fear na may mamiss tayo. So, we keep thinking. Even when the body is already asking for rest. And the mind promises us this na if I think about this now, I will feel more prepared. Pero ano talaga yung nangyayari? Kabaliktaran kasi you lose sleep. So you wake up tired. So mas mabagal ang thinking mo kinabukasan. So mas reactive ka, mas madali kang matrigger. So instead of helping you, the thinking is draining you. And then you become someone who is always on, always thinking, even when it's time to rest. A person who can't switch off. At nakakapagod yan, speaking from experience. It's like your mind is a meeting room and every thought is a person knocking on the door. And instead of choosing kung anong meetings lang yung importante, you open the door to everyone. So kahit midnight na, punong-puno pa rin ang room. May pa-meeting pa rin. No wonder you cannot rest. Here's what changed everything for me. I realized my number one job in bed at night is to rest, not to think. So when a thought comes in, I don't automatically engage with it anymore. I just notice it. If it's a good idea, I gently say, oh, thank you, tomorrow. If it's a worry or negative thought, I just notice it and I bring my attention back to my breath. Sa pakiramdam ng katawan ko sa kama, sa bigat ng katawan ko, sa bed, and by breathing, and slowly nagsisettle yung mind. I also give enough time for my mind to wind down before sleep. Hindi agad ako dumidiretso from work or mental stimulation straight to bed. I have a simple calming routine na nakaupo lang ako sa corner ko, na dim yung ilaw, I'm praying or meditating or writing in my journal. So when I lie down, my mind is already slowing down. And remember that not every thought needs your attention. Not everything is urgent. And just because a thought appears doesn't mean you have to follow it. And when you practice this, you fall asleep faster. So you wake up more rested. Mas maayos ang decision-making mo kapag well-rested ang utak mo. Mas kalmado ka sa work. Mas present ka sa family instead of feeling groggy. And your mind starts working with you instead of against you kasi nga recharged siya, ready for another day. And you become someone who can think when it's time to think and rest when it's time to rest. Now, imagine this kapag matutulog ka na. Your mind is still that same meeting room. Pero this time, you're the one deciding na meeting hours are over. Work is done for the day. Balik na lang yung mga kumakatok na thoughts and ideas bukas. And for the first time, the room becomes quiet. So imagine going to bed and instead of overthinking, ayan na, nararamdaman mo kaagad your body is relaxing. Your breathing is slowing down. Your mind is becoming quieter. And that's when sleep comes naturally. And even sa mga gabi when sleep is not perfect, you don't panic. You don't fight what's happening. You know how to be with it na kalmado ka. That's what happened to me, from struggling with sleep for many years to now having nights where I can lie down, just notice my thoughts and let them pass. Hindi na ako nakikipaglaban sa mind ko or nire-resist o stop thinking, hindi na. Hindi ko na kailangang kontrolin lahat. I just know when to stop engaging with my thoughts. And I also want to be honest with you. Hindi ibig sabihin na perfect na ang tulog ko ngayon. There are still nights, especially recently when I wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. Minsan, ang active ng mind ko, may mga ideas, creative thoughts, podcast topics, and I'm still learning how to respond to that. But the difference now is this, hindi na ako nagpapanik. Hindi ko na iniisip na something is wrong. I need to fix something. No, I just notice it and I gently bring myself back to rest. And sometimes nakakatulog ulit. Sometimes hindi agad. And that's okay. Because the goal is not perfect sleep. The goal is you know how to be with your mind. Even when sleep is not perfect. It's impossible to have perfect sleep every night. And the more we expect that, the more pressure we create for ourselves. So instead of chasing perfect sleep, we learn to be kinder to ourselves and more relaxed with the experience. So try this tonight. When you lie down and a thought appears, don't fight it. Don't follow it. Just notice it. Then gently bring your attention back to your breath. Or sa pakiramdam ng katawan mo sa kama. And if it's an idea, even if it's a very good idea, just say, tomorrow. And if you want to understand this deeper and learn how to stop getting pulled by every thought, this is exactly what we work on inside the 7-day Mental Fitness Challenge. You will start to notice the patterns in your thinking, what's actually driving the stress, and how you can catch and interrupt it much faster. So instead of your mind controlling you, you start having more space, more calmness, and better control over how you respond. You can find the link in the description below. Kung nakaka-relate ka sa episode na to, follow or subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. And if you know someone who might find this helpful, feel free to share it with them. And thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next episode of Realizations with Clarissa. And keep building your mental fitness. Because a stronger mind helps us live better and work better.